Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So last week was the backside of the full moon, and I was happy that I was on vacation because historically I don't like to fish the backside of the full moon because it is a night bite, okay? A night bite typically. And the reports I was getting, everybody was like, it's kind of slow during the day. And then the other side of the things is that the guys that I call them the night owls, and it's just not my thing to fish at night. But the guys that got out, it was pretty easy fishing at night. So you can pretty much get out there and do some damage on some yellowtails. And if you're fishing the bib into Duane wrecks at night, pretty easy fishing. Actually, doesn't take much work or chum. The fish can't see anything. So, yes, you're going to do very well at night in the month of July. It's just July. It's hot, and the fish just like to bite at night. So, on the back, especially on the back side of that full moon phase. So, we're coming off of that now. We had some wind over the past couple days out of the southwest. It's starting to shake things up. Hearing a report here and there about a few gaffers being caught in 300 feet. So a lot of guys are running way out there still. They're finding lots of peanut-sized schoolies. So like I've said in my previous podcasts, you got to look in close. And the guys that had looked in close found them. So I was right. So, and you guys know who you are. So very, awesome. So, okay. So this time of year, everybody's got deep drop fever, okay? It's going to be like that. Everyone wants to go out and make drops. But you got to pick your days. When I wake up in the morning and I see a southwest wind or a southwest wind blowing 10 to 12 miles an hour, to me that's gonna triple the speed of the Gulf Stream, and it's not the smartest thing to do on my end to go deep dropping because the current's gonna smoke. So you're better off like having a plan that morning, and if you have a huff of breeze like 10 miles an hour to 12 to 15 out of the south to southwest. Like I said, that wind is moving with the current to the Gulf Stream, and that Gulf Stream may be only moving a knot to a knot and a half, but then you add that wind to it, and then it just basically triples the speed of the Gulf Stream. So if you're deep dropping, if you have like your heart set on going deep dropping, I would honestly be prepared with a plan B. And that plan B would be to fish the outgoing tide on the reef and do as much damage as you can because that's when the fish tend to be biting right now and they tend to stop mid-morning. So also too, kind of cut back on the chum that you're using. There's got to be some strategy there because the fish can fill up really quickly, especially if there's been guys there fishing at night. So they're chumming as well. So you got to use some strategy. Find some new spots, do some bottom trolling for groupers, change things up a bit. We have about another 3 to 4 weeks, I think, is my prediction before we see some large gaffer-sized dolphin and big mahi swim through the Keys. So, but like I said, that's just my prediction. It's what happened last year and the year before that. So I'm going to stick with that prediction and hopefully I'm right. So I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. So just get back to the deep drop and just be kind of smart. When everybody has a plan, everybody wants to go make drops this time of year and like do the deep dropping thing. But guys, you got to make the most out of your time on the water, okay? So if you're going deep dropping on a day when the southwest wind is cranking, you might find yourself in a situation where it's not the best idea. So you're better off bringing some chum, setting the hook, and doing that way, or trying to fish some shallower water and trying to find out where the currents may be moving 2 miles an hour. It's awfully tough when it's blowing from the southwest. That's just my least favorite wind to fish the deep water. So now as far as the mutton snappers go, this time of year, here's what I do usually. You're going to catch them at the anchor and on the ledges and stuff, but these fish are not in spawning aggregates right now. They've like spread out. So you got to hunt. That means you got to have a ton of spots, and you just got to be willing to put in the time for them. It's awfully tough to catch large numbers of muttons in the month of July until they start. They may last year they did start. They kind of piled in on the new moon, and there in July, and there was a little bit of a spawn where they kind of packed in, and there were some aggregates of them. So, but from what I've been hearing here is there might be more groupers that are aggregating now from what I'm seeing in the reports in the Facebook group. So I'm not sure what to make of this whole thing right now. I just know what I've historically seen in the month of July. I just don't catch a lot of muttons in when I anchor. I'm like, right now for me, I'm running around putting together bites. I'm catching ones and twos and threes, and I'm hustling. So it's kind of like that backcountry thing that guys do. They just like run around, hitting spots, banging off one or two fish, and then moving on. So that's kind of what I'm doing, really. If I got guys that want to do the mutton snapper thing. So, but that's it for today on the fishing report. So today I want to talk about one thing. I want to give you guys my honest opinion of the Shimano SpeedMaster 12 and 16. So I purchased these two reels when they first came out. I got lucky enough to find a couple on Amazon that were from Shimano. And the reason why I purchased them is because I'm a huge fan of the Italicas. Now I've been fishing Italicas for many years now, and I don't have any plans on switching. And I'm praying to God that Shimano doesn't discontinue the reels, because that's the only way I would have to bail out on the Italicas. So the Shimano Speedmaster. So I put those reels through total hell. Okay, so I drop with those in up to 400 feet of water. I don't let clients use electric reels for mutton fishing. I don't let them do it. It is not sporty, so I do not do it. It is a fishing charter. So, and when I break out an electric reel to go mutton fishing, my clients look at me like I'm nuts, and they first thing they do is they gravitate towards the manual reel. I've been through that. I don't do it anymore. Now, unless we're like, sometimes when we're drifting, I'll drop a chicken rig down on an electric off to the side and push button, while while we got the Talicas out, looking for the muttons and the groupers. So, but not very often. So, but again, I don't use electrics when I mutton fish. So aside from that, I'm getting off track a little bit. The Speedmasters. Okay. I've really only gotten, I mean, for me, I've only fished with them a couple times. And I like them. I do. I like them, but they're not Italica. Okay. So from what I've seen, they're just not as smooth as when I'm throwing a live bait, like casting a live bait. I just can't get the distance on a live bait on the small pilcher that I can with the Talica versus the Speedmaster. Now, like I said, the difference in price is almost 50%. So yes, the drag is on the Speedmaster is awesome. Okay, it is just like the Talica. It's super nice, 40 pounds. It can stop a lot of fish. We've caught some big fish on it, but as far as the smoothness of the reel goes, there is a difference. The Talica is just a little bit better, and now that's coming from clients. So the clients are gravitating towards the Talicas. So then what I hear from them is, oh, this is a really nice reel. This is a nice reel, but this is a really nice reel. And as far as how they're handling the reel, how they're free lining the pilchards back, there is just a little bit of a difference, and the clients are the ones that are telling me this, guys. So, but I kind of start out with the Speedmasters in the rotation, but then I end up back into the Talica 16s, because that's what the clients are wanting. Now, here's what I think should happen here's what I think should happen on those reels, is that I haven't done it yet to make it a better reel, is that what I've done with the Talica 16s is I've added power handles. The power handles you can buy from tackleworld.com, and basically I just switch out the handles, and boom, that makes a huge difference on those reels. So that's another reason why the clients like it, is that they love those jumbo handles. And why I have those jumbo handles is it keeps their hands away from the lever drag too. So it keeps them from false, hitting that lever drag and knocking that spool down in the free spool. So that does happen on charters quite often, and that's one of the reasons why I have the lever handle. It keeps their hands away from that just enough so where they don't accidentally backlash the reel by hitting that lever drag and knocking it in the free spool. Now the power handles on those Talicas are just, it's just great. It gives the clients a little bit more leverage. There is a difference, okay? Now, I need to get a couple power handles, and I think TackleWorld.com has them for sale for the Shimano Speedmasters as well. So I'm going to be purchasing those in the future, but I really, in my starting lineup, I have all the Talicas first, and then then I rotate into the Speedmasters last. So I do that because the clients prefer the Talicas, and that's just based on. I think I'm trying to think when I first started talking about them. I think it was March. I don't remember, but it's been a while, and they've been through the tests, and like I said, the clients they gravitate towards the Talicas, so I know that's what they like the most. So I keep the Speedmasters, and I rotate them in as lines break and so forth, and that's how they get rotated into the lineup on the boat as far as client usage and how I do it. Now, would I buy more Speedmasters? Probably not, to be honest with you guys. Probably not. I'm going to continue with the Talicas, and I'll be adding some more Talicas here this fall for wahoo fishing. I love the Shimano Talica 50 for wahoo fishing. It's extremely light. You can hold it and, and like fight a wahoo stand up with ease. And then I'll have some more custom rods built for clients this fall for them, based on what we've seen over the past 2 years. I'll be making some adjustments to the rods this fall. So it's just something I'll talk about here in the future as far as what I'm doing with wahoo fishing and tackle, because I am changing it up a bit based on what I've seen and how I'm going to make a few improvements. And any minor improvement that helps a client put a fish in the boat with ease is well worth it and well worth the investment. So they are pricey, but they do last, and I have very few issues with the Talicas, and I've had zero issues with the Speedmasters. Like nothing. It's like no issues. They are great reels as well, and I do recommend them. So it's just everybody's preference. So just keep that in mind. I just feel the difference in the Talicas and how it just feels different in my hands, and I can cast them. I can cast small pilchards a lot further. It's just a smoother reel for me, and so that's just me. So there is only one thing that I do not like about the Speedmasters, and I absolutely hate it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, as I am in all my podcasts. I despise it actually. And there's something on there like I think it's called a super stopper, and it's on the strike mode of the lever on the cam. And so basically you have to push the button in to get more drag. Now, guys, I have a lot of clients that are really just learning how to use reels. And for me, I set the drags now according to what we're fishing for, so the client doesn't have to like do a lot of adjustments and so forth. So basically, where the drag lever would go all the way up, I have it set like for what I need as far as fighting a fish, because I don't want them to slam on the brakes of a fish and break something off. I don't want any sort of so I set my drags at where normally you would set max drag. So I do it a little different because I just want the client to push the button all the way up. So, and I don't want them to have to mess with the drag at all and have to thumb the reel and do all that crap. So I've just learned that in full drag position, what normally guys have like max drag, I'm adjusting the drag to like 20 to 30 pounds based on what I'm fighting. And that's as far as they can push that lever up. It just helps prevent trouble from happening. Now, guys, I am a charter boat fisherman, okay? And I don't fish with mates, so I've just learned what works best for me, and that works best for me. So I do not like that black stopper on there. You have to push the button in. That little bit of time of pushing that button in and pushing that lever up sucks. It's not fun. So I don't know why they did that. And so it's not a true match of the Talica because they did that. So it's just, I don't know. Some of you guys are going to like it. I don't, for charter boat fishing, for how I fish personally. So I'm like, I don't like that drag stopper. I've actually lost a few fish because the client, I'm like, push the button in and get your drag up to strike, and basically they can't do it. And they're like, where's the button? Where's the button? So there's just too much chaos. So now it has to add extra time, and time for me is very precious on the water. Like I said, when I go fishing like for snappers and groupers, I'm carrying like 15 rods with me that are all set up to rotate out in case of a break off. And because I want to keep the momentum going, it's just how things have to roll. So I start my day extremely early. Every morning everything gets redone, and at night everything comes into the house, and it's the same program every day. So it's quite a bit of work. And when I see that button in the morning, I get irritated. I don't know. It's just like one of those things. And some morning it makes me irritated, and some mornings I'm like, oh, I got to deal with it again. But I'm not going to take the reel out of the lineup because of that. So, but otherwise, go buy one. Try it out. Try it out for yourself. I'm just telling you what I feel. It's just basically a knockdown version of a Italica, but there is a difference, guys. It's not Italica. Sorry, it's just not. And that's how they're marketed, which is great. But I won't be personally buying any more Speedmasters. It's 100% Italicas from here on out. So I tried them, and they're great reels. We've done some severe damage with the fish. They're going to stay in the rotation, guys. They're not coming out. I don't like, maybe I like overstepped a little bit on my thoughts on that, but I'm saying like if I were to go to a store and purchase a reel, I would spend the extra money on Italica. So, but if you're looking for a good reel that's going to do some damage as far as drag goes and speed goes for deep water mutton fishing or something like that, I would not use this for wahoo fishing. I would not use the Italica 25 for wahoo fishing because of that black super stopper or whatever they have on that thing. I just don't get it. So anyways, my personal opinions and thoughts, as always. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you guys check out my new courses. I've got a really good chum ball course in there that's awesome. Guys are having some awesome success with it. My mutton snapper crusher bridle system, and my double ballyhoo hook rig. Guys, that double ballyhoo hook rig, after you learn how to do that, it's so simple, and you will not have to spend money on a 3-pack of rig ballyhoo and be worried about the damn hook falling out at the end because somebody didn't cinch it right, because you're the one that's doing it. Follow me on Instagram. It's Good Karma Sportfishing _FL_keys. Check out my website, www.goodkarmasportfishing.com. My next available opening, I believe, is like August 16th. Oh, I'm sorry, August 17th. That's all I got. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good. And leave the small fish for the boat behind you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.